G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. There are so many stuffed mushroom recipes out there. This one's a little bit different. There's no meat, it's completely vegetarian and it's delicious. So join me today as I make my version of vegetarian stuffed mushrooms. So we're going to start with our lovely mushroom. Now, the ingredients that I'll be listing for this recipe, which will be in the description down below, will be for 4 large portabella type mushrooms. So not as big as this one's a monster. And they're not easy to come by, I just happen to get a large batch of them. So I'm going to use one of these large ones. So just make note that the ingredients listed below will be for 4 large portabella mushrooms, which aren't definitely not as big as this monster. So we're going to start by removing the core. Now you can use this if you like. I find that the bigger the mushroom, the tougher these things get. And we're just also going to remove the gillets from the inside as well. And you'll note that I've also got this on a baking tray lined with non-stick baking paper. And we have our emptied out mushroom. And with the remainder you can place it in the bin, but I'm going to put it into my compost bin because it's fantastic. And just give it a quick drizzle just on top, just with some olive oil. Okay, next I've got a fry pan on the stove on high heat, so I'm just going to add just a drizzle of olive oil. And to that, 1 diced up onion. And over this high heat, we're just going to cook these onions just for about a minute or 2 until they start to soften up. But we don't want them to soften up all the way just yet. Okay, the onions have started to soften up. Now we don't want to do it completely just yet because they'll continue to cook. So next we're going to add in some chopped up zucchini and then some capsicum. Now you can use red or green. Now they're also called bell peppers in America and some other countries as well. So it comes down to personal taste. I'm using green, but you can also use red as well. So just keep on cooking these up until everything is nice and soft. Okay, now that it's all started to soften up, I'm going to add a diced tomato and some diced garlic. Now when it comes to garlic, I always prefer more, so it's up to you to follow the directions in the description, or you can be like me and always add probably twice the amount. I just love garlic. And a lot of people do too, so it's really up to you. That just comes down to personal taste. So once you've added the garlic, we're just going to cook this for a further 1 minute just to help bring out all those lovely garlicky flavours. And lastly, while we're over the high heat, I'm just going to add a handful of spinach. And we're basically just going to cook this now just until the spinach is wilted. So it won't take long, probably about a half a minute to a minute depending on how much spinach you use. So as soon as the spinach is wilted, just take it straight off the heat. Okay, so as you can see, the spinach is wilted, so just take it straight off the heat and we're done with the frying part. Okay, so our fry pan's off the heat, so now I'm just going to add some pepper. You can add salt if you like, but honestly for this recipe I've found that you really don't need it. Then to that, a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. But if you want to go completely vegan, feel free just to substitute it with vegan cheese. Then I'm just going to add, say, a pinch of oregano and just give it a good mix through just to combine. Okay, so I'm only using 1 large mushroom, so I'm just going to fill this up. Otherwise, if you're using the 4 as listed in the description, you'll just evenly divide between all 4 mushrooms. But if you happen to come across these large ones, I really recommend it. It's like a whole meal in itself, it truly is. Okay, so once done, we're just simply going to place it into a preheated oven at 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. And would you look at how delicious that vegetarian stuffed mushroom has come out. It smells delicious. And the best part is, it not only smells delicious, it tastes delicious, it's also incredibly healthy too. And again, you can add salt if you like. Personally, I've tried it both ways and without salt is perfectly fine. So it's a pretty versatile recipe. Now, whether you use vegan cheese or just regular cheese, either way, this vegetarian stuffed mushroom is going to taste simply delish.